you're welcome back again. So we are looking at another unsupervised learning algorithm called hierarchical clustering. Okay, we have looked at k-means clustering. We also look at the mean shift last time. So we want to look at the hierarchical clustering, and this hierarchical clustering is used to group together the unlabeled data points having similar characteristics. It's categorized into two actually. The first one is called agglomerative, and second one is called decisive. So when we talk about hierarchical clustering, most times what we are actually referring to is agglomerative hierarchical clustering. Okay, decisive is not usually used most times, so it's not popularly known. But when most times we only hear the word hierarchical clustering all the time, so we don't really know which one are they referring to most times. But what they're actually referring to is actually agglomerative all the time, and that is what will give us that dendrogram we usually see all the time. So each data point is treated as a single cluster and then successfully merge and agglomerate, that is to say, bottom up the pairs of clusters. So this the hierarchy of the cluster is represented as a dendrogram or tree structure. So in the other way around, the decisive in this case, all the data points are treated as one big cluster, and the process of clustering involves dividing top-down approach. So the one big cluster into various smaller clusters. So we can see one is up down, another one is down up. So one is building up, and one is also turning down. So we have some steps to follow in order to perform agglomerative clustering. Number one is to treat each data point as single cluster. Hence, we will be having, let's say, cluster K as start. The number of the data points will also be K as start as well. So now in this step, we need to form a big cluster by joining two closest data points. This will result in total of K minus 1 clusters. Now, to form more clusters, we need to join two closest clusters together. This will result in total K minus 2 clusters. And to form one big cluster, we repeat the above three steps until K will become 0. That is, no more data points left to join. At last, after making one single big cluster, dendrograms will be used to divide into multiple clusters depending upon the problem. Okay, so we can implement this in a simple way. Now, by importing our library, we are going to use our data set that is commonly used before erase. Have 4 features and 3 categories, 3 flowers. So we are going to call our data set here by running. You don't forget all the library we imported here. We have used many of them before, apart from the dendrogram and the agglomerative clustering that we have not used. So that is only the 2 we added now from the Scikit and the Scikit-learn. So now I'm going to load our data set here now. So now we also scale. Okay, so scale here just to make sure that because it's critical for data for distance-based method. So we're going to perform clustering step by step. The first step is to do what's called linkage matrix, which define how clusters are merged together step by step based on their distances. And we have different kind of distance we use here. We have what is called single method, complete method, average method, and centroid method. So, but a word method is a common one, commonly used. So we use word method this because it's very effective and very easy. So now we have supply. You can change each of the method here so that to supply it here so that you see the difference. The changes in the diagram. I mean in the dendrogram. So it will see some changes there, so affect the dendrogram structure automatically. So let us plot the dendrogram here, visualize our merging process. So we just call dendrogram, we pass our data into it, and we see our result here, right? We have our hierarchical here. So this is just the process now, and our y-axis is the distance between merging clusters, right? This one, and the x-axis is the data point, which is colored by the two species for reference. Okay, so you can see it. All right, so horizontal line cluster images higher is equal to less similar. All right, so now we're going to cut the dendrogram to get clusters now. So we choose a distance threshold to cut the dendrogram and assign clusters. So let's say we want to choose our threshold is 10 to get 3 clusters. So we have say maximum distance equal to 10, and we repeat the same process we have done before to draw our dendrogram. So our threshold will be here. So we are having 1, 2, 3 clusters now by default. You can see here. Okay, so now here the 10 automatically give us 3 clusters by default because 1, 2, 3. So when threshold is applied, it cuts across 3 vertical lines, 1, 2, 3. So which means that we are having 3 clusters by default. If it causes here, it means we have 2, but it causes here 1, 2, 3, 5, 3. So that is how we choose cluster for dendrogram. All right, so let's automate the cluster assignment now by using agglomerative clustering to get the cluster labels. When we run this line, we can get we can compare the true labels for evaluation purpose. All right, so you can see here that the minor classification between where it's colored and Genica is obtained here. You can see it here. You can see two of them 0, 0 here. And then we can visualize our 2D projection using PCA, which you have used several times. So if you run this now by passing our X, we have scaled already into our 50 to 15. We select only the first and second columns, so we can project it on the cluster. You can see it here. So it's our 2D data point clustering projection here. All right. So we have 3 clusters there. Then there are some key parameters I want to. Here, the first one is what you have talked about before. The other, how to compute distances based on clusters. So I've discussed about the word, which is the default, which we supply. You can also use complete, you can also use average, or even single. And we also have affinity distance metric, which can be a collinear distance or Manhattan distance or cosine distance, whichever one we want to use, you can choose. But the common one is a collinear distance, which is commonly used. So we also have more distances which are not mentioned here. You can check them later. Linkage methods, we have a word which I just said now. This word minimizes variance of merged clusters, which is the best for evenly sized clusters. We also have complete, which uses a maximum distance between clusters and sensitive to outliers actually. And we also have average, which uses average distance between clusters, which is balanced. So yeah, there are pros and cons I want to quickly mention before we conclude. Now we have number 1, no need to pre-specify k. We use dendrogram. Number 2, it works well for small to medium data sets. Number 3, it provides intuitive dendrogram visuals. The cons is that it's computationally expensive, heavily expensive because it takes a lot of resources. Number 2, not scalable to large data sets, more than 10,000 k samples. Okay, and sensitive to noise and outliers. So in summary, we can say that another data label, data default clustering, critical for distance-based method. So we need to standardize the data using our standardized method which we have used. And the dendrograms help choose k by identifying large vertical log jumps. So which we saw now, it helps us to choose the value of k, which we saw that k is 3 by using the dendrogram method. Word linkage is often the best default for balanced clusters. So which we have used today, and we may adjust the linkage method or cutting the dendrogram at the different heights to see how cluster changes. So that is just that for today, and you can try this by plugging your data set and see how it works for hierarchical clustering. I'll see you again in the next class. Thanks so much for listening. You can like, you can comment, you can share if you want. If you have not yet subscribed, you can go ahead and do that in order to continue enjoying the other necessary videos that will be coming up. Thank you so much for listening. I will see you on the next class.